sub process from the Python script. Okay, the entire, you are running the entire program here. Okay, so you are calling this as CI pipeline. Okay, this is just a dummy. Okay, you are just mimicking the environment here. Okay, so it will just print the lines here, first lines. Okay, so you are importing a module. Okay, sub process module, which is used to spawn new process. Means this is the Linux way of creating sub process. So when you want to create a new process, okay, in threads I have explained you. Okay, multi-threading, how it do a multi-threading. So when it want to create a multi-threading, what it will do? It will spawn the process here. Okay. So if you want to recap it, okay. So let me explain you this. Okay. So I have a process. So this is my process. Okay. So this is a process 1. Okay. So I want to, this is PID 2931. Let's say this is example. So there is a task here. Okay. So task is some calculation, 22 to the power of okay, divided by 56, 85232. Okay. So this I need to do the calculation. So what this process will do? Okay, I will span it. Okay, 1. This is a process 1. Spanning 1, okay. And then this, okay, from 2, then 3, so it will create 1, okay. So once the output is done, this will take it and this process will be killed. Okay. Let's say this is 2392, this is 2934. Okay. So all these processes are killed once the job is done, child process. Okay. So then it will give the output here, it will take it and it will give the result. Okay. This is the spawning here. Okay. In Linux, this will be done like this. Okay. So this process will be running, still it will be running, this will not be get killed. But whereas this process will get killed here once the task is done. Okay. So that is called, that is the spawning here, new process. Okay. So it will connect, okay, it will return whether it is creating or not. If it creates, then I will tell okay. If it doesn't create, I will throw an error. So that is what you are trying to do it. Okay. So it allows Python script to act like a terminal and run shell commands or external programs. So if you want to run something external outside your Python program, so from executing, you want to go outside, execute and then come back. So you will use the subprocess module here. Okay. Then you are defining the function here. Okay. Run CI pipeline. Okay. So you are defining the function here. Now you are just printing it. Okay. I am just checking the code. Okay. Then you are storing the result here. Subprocess dot run. So here you are using the module here, subprocess dot run. Okay. This module you are running it here, Python 3. Okay, Python 3 -c print test okay. Okay, this you are doing it. So once this is printed, then you will tell okay. If it is true, then text is equal to true. Okay, then it will be result is true then. Okay, this is an external command where you are going outside your Python and you are running it and then closing that. Okay, okay, then you are getting that variable text is equal to true. Okay. So now your result will be 0 now. Okay. Because you are capturing the code here. Okay. Sub process, if it executes, okay, true, then you make it as a 0. Okay. So 0 means success here. Any number outside 0, it will treat as failure here. Okay. So now it will say test successfully passed, or else it says it didn't work. Okay. So now you run it, we will see what is the DevOps connection. So you run the code. So yesterday you run it, Santosh ran this code. So what is this? Cat CI pipeline. So this is the code. Okay, I want to edit it here. So let me execute this. Python 3. Pipeline. So this got test is passed here. Okay. So this you got a written code. Okay. Test is passed. So what I will do? I will put it here. I will modify this. Okay. Let's say I will modify this. Now you see, okay, this got failed here. Okay, it tried to run it, Python 32, it didn't created a child process, execute child process, this got failure. So at line 7, in the module, okay, so this got failure. So we'll see. So we will make this. Okay. If it executes, I will make this as false. Okay. Test passed. So that it is still taking the value as 0 only. Once it executes, it is still taking as a value 0. Okay. So now you run it. So you show me your output. So I am passing the recording here. So you have sub process here. So you have made this as a parenthesis. Okay. If you are directly running it, okay, so you have made this as a result here. So if you open up directly without capturing the result, then you can have the SQL injections here. If you directly open up, okay, sub process without capturing the result, then you will have command injection. So user can directly put a shell here inside that commands here. So that is why what you are doing, you are just capturing this into a string here. you are not allowing, so that instead of capturing it, hacker can use a command line. Okay, so you need to always uh, pass commands like this within the script. Okay, so that it will leave a false shell. So this is from the security perspective. So that's a standard programming practice. Okay. So now yesterday you have seen the environment variables. So now you type the env now. So let me type here env. So all you are getting all the environment variables here. Okay. So let me show that ls Python 3 env variables.py. So it is pulling the only my home directory here. So I will type okay cat env var dot. So I have db underscore host input OS. There is this environment variables. This is load. Yes. Load config. Cat load underscore config. So this is the same file. Load config. So let me run it. Python 3. Load config. So you are capturing, okay, you are defining the load config variables here. Okay. Then you are setting the OS get environment variable local host. So you are setting up as a local host. Okay, you are getting that information here. Okay, so then you are setting up the ports also. You are defining 5432. And debugging also you are setting up, okay, to false. So now you are printing all those variables now, okay. So what is the DevOps connection here? Okay, you will be using these variables to control the application behavior. So whatever you are doing it here, so you want to capture it, the environment variables here. So first line you are importing the OS module which is built in, which will give you access to the operating system functionality. Okay, so you including your environment variables dictionary, all that you will be using this once you do it. So if you are not using, you cannot use the os.get environment variable function here. Okay, so this is now you are defining a function load config. Okay, so you want to define a function to centralize the loading of application configuration here. So you can define it in your own way. Okay, load configuration like that. Okay, so then you are getting this value under db host. Okay, so you want to take that value. Okay. So os.get environment variable. So this is the syntax here, key and default. So this is the standard way of reading the environment variables here. So let me minimize this. So now it will look for a DB host variable here. Now the second argument you have, okay, argument localhost, which is the fallback default value. If DB host is not set in the system, okay, script will safely defaults to localhost instead of crashing it. So if you change it to DB host, okay, so this will return it as a DB host. So now it doesn't got that variable, so that's why it has returned localhost. Okay. So then you are getting the DB port now, DB underscore port. So you are getting that with the DB port information. Okay. So the standard port for Postgres, okay, that is 5432. So now here, so you are taking the environment variables now. So debugging here, okay. So you are always going to set it as a strings here. So you see it here. So whatever you get, it should be the string now here. So debugging mode. So it should be either true or false. Okay. So any non-empty strings evaluates to be a true in Boolean context. Okay. So Boolean false is, so if you are putting it true or false, then it will be true only. Okay. Other than something else, if you put no, then it will return it as false. Okay. That's how it takes it. Okay. So now you are printing this statement. Okay. Uses the f strings here to print the statement here. Now load function here. So you have defined all this. Now you are loading the function here. Okay. Now load it. What exactly this is going to look like. Okay. Load configuration. So this will execute the function here. So now let's say you are defining this. Okay. Once you define it, then you can use it anywhere else. Okay. By just calling this function here. So now why you are using this? Okay. So these are the specific patterns here. Once I explain you the 12-factor app, you will get to know that methodology here. So what exactly you are going to use this when you are doing that. Okay. Roy, you know about the 12-factor app? Deployment configuration?
No.
That's completely on the software perspective. Okay. So you will be not looking completely on the 12-factor app. So we will overly touch it on those methodology. Okay. So this is just you want to see that configuration here. So once we capture it, we will see all those things here. Okay. Say in Docker, so I don't want to go through this. Okay. So we'll go here. So this is the security one. Okay. So you get the password here, DB password from the environment variables. You are masking it here. So you don't want to print the sensitive information in the logs. So you will be using that. Okay. Or the API keys also. Okay. So if you are exposing the API key, then anyone can access that uh, your application. Okay. So for now, you just think like you are just loading the configuration here. Okay. So let me pass here. Listen here. Okay. JSON here is not JSON. Okay. So I have a colleague, ex-colleague, whose name is also JSON. Okay. This is not JSON here. So import JSON here. This is the JSON is the standard library here module. So this is your JavaScript object, I think. Okay. Object notation or nodes. Okay. So this, it will be importing that library here. Okay. So this is this lightweight directory. Okay. Lightweight text format. Okay. You are seeing this configuration file. So let me zoom this. So you will be seeing lot of JSON format here. Okay. So these are everywhere in your APIs here. So this will be the configuration. Okay. In configuration files also you will see this format, or APIs also you will see this format. And any structured data exchange, you are doing any structured data exchange, you will be seeing this format here. Okay. This is part of your standard library here. Okay. So let's say what this config dot underscore JSON will look like. Okay. So this is your variable here. Okay. So variable, so you are telling it in the triple quotes here. So triple quoted means it can go into multiple lines. Okay. So at this point it is telling, okay, this is just a plain text. Okay. So Python doesn't have any idea about it. Oh, okay, what this structure means. Okay, it just look like a human readable thing. Okay. Now you are defining this variable here. JSON.loads JSON underscore load dot JSON underscore config here. Okay. So this you are loading the configuration here. So whatever you see it here, let me explain you this one. Okay. So whatever inside this object, okay, this will be the dictionary. Python, it will consider this as a dictionary type. Okay. These are all the dictionary type here inside this. Then whatever is inside the array, let me tell you. Okay. It is the paint here. Okay. So objects, whatever are inside it, okay, so that will be considered a Python type. This is your JSON type. Okay, here in Python, okay, it will be dictionary type. So this is your type. Okay. So here whatever you are telling it array here, so you will have values here. So in Python it will be list here. Okay. string, if you are defining string, okay, here you will be telling str here. Okay, this is your JSON, this is your Python. Okay, so number here, if you are telling number, then you need to tell integer. Here you just tell integer. Okay, if you are telling about number here floating, let's say here number say float. Okay, here all it will be, you just define it as float here. So here you will tell just true or false. So here also true or false here. So you will tell null here. In Python you will tell none here. So that is what you will, all your configuration files will be in JSON only. Okay. So you need to understand this concept. Okay. This will be very human readable, most human readable. So this you will be giving it to the configuration files. So this it will be easily readable for us. Okay. So whatever you are doing it, you are parsing it. Parsing means you are dividing it now here. You see now, so this is your app name is equals to application my app. Okay. Then you are defining version. Okay, this is my version. Okay. So now you are defining the database here. Okay. So inside that you are telling, okay, this is my host. Host is equal to localhost and port is equal to 5432. Okay. So this is the configuration file you are telling. Okay. So now you closed the configuration. Okay. Now if you want to access the data here, you want to access the data, you will just tell, okay, config app name here. Okay. So you are configuring app name. Okay. So it will give you my app. Okay, it will print. Okay, so you are defining here app name is my app here. DB host. Okay, you are configuring the DB host. Okay, what is the DB host? You are configuring it as a local host. Okay, so if you want to print that, you can print this config database. You can put it as a port here. Okay, one more line if you put it, it will show you the port number also. Okay, so that is how you will be capturing the JSON, accessing the data here. Okay. So now you run this. Okay. So let me run this configuration. So let me explain it, what it is having, what you got it. So you see it here now. So converting JSON strings to Python dictionary. Okay. So this will, once you do it, import.json dictionaries. Okay, it will load json.loads. Okay, or json.dumps. Okay, once you import that, now you are defining the configuration variables here. So if you are putting this triple quotes, it will go across multiple lines. Okay, if you are not putting it, okay, so if you are not putting the triple quotes here, okay, just like here, so you are not putting triple quotes, then it will stop. At one line only it will stop. If you put triple quotes, it will go on. Okay, until it figures it out. Okay, I have this one, then it will stop at here. Okay. So once this configuration is loaded, then you will capture this information. Okay, and then you will print that. That's how you will be printing the JSON strings here. Now I will print that information. So let me list ls. JSON, okay. Python 3 JSON config. So it is capturing, I am printing only this 2 here. Okay. If you want to print, you can put db port config database. You can put here port number. Just you define port, it will print the port number also. So this is your detailed explanation. So once you are done, you are loading the configuration of the file here. So which will print the program like this. Summary here. You will just import the JSON file. You are defining the strings here with app and database setting. Then you are using the JSON dot loads here, okay, to convert that strings here. You are printing two values from the dictionary, the app name and the database host. So in real application, you will be often using the JSON file, okay. So if you want to capture the information, okay, config.json, okay, instead of hard coding it, so you will capture all that information inside your program here, inside your Python program, okay. And you can publish it whenever you want, okay. So now we will go with the last one, okay, YAML file we will see. So you run that program, JSON program. So we will see this YAML format. So you see the similarity here between YAML file and JSON file. Okay. So the difference between YAML and JSON is, okay. So whenever you are importing this YAML file, okay, so it will bring your Python YAML here, PYYAML, okay. So which will be used for parsing libraries into Python. Okay, you want to convert the values or fetch the values into Python library. Okay, so whereas let me go to Paint here. So you have here JSON in configuration files, you see it. So you have standard libraries here, okay. So this is JSON is it will be automatically installed. This is part of your standard library, okay. So it is not installed separately. It will by default it will come, okay. But whereas if you want to do something on the YAML part, okay, so you need to install the libraries here, okay. So you have to install pip install py YAML. Okay. So then only it will work. Okay. So now we will break it down. Okay. So what it looks like. Okay. What is YAML here? YAML by definition. YAML. Don't worry, they will not ask you in the interview. Okay. YAML ain't markup language. This is not a markup language. The definition itself is this is not a markup language. Okay. So it is only used for indentation. Okay. It will uses the braces and brackets to express all the structure. Okay. So let's see here. So in the JSON you have, you see the difference. So you have here. So this it is, we have removed this one. App name. Same here. App you are defining. Database you are defining. And port you are defining here. Okay. So it will be uses indentation, okay, without the braces or brackets to get the structure here. Okay. So you are defining here. So now you are defining the database. So this is to read all the information here. So you have kept the triple quotes here so that you get all the information. Now you are loading that information here. Okay. So if we look at the information here, if you want to see the difference here, okay. Let me pull that here. Okay. So you have, let me draw this little bit. So I will put one more here. So for in Python, a dictionary values here, let me put this one here, AML. So you are defining the key here, key, value. So you are putting these blocks here. So you are just defining the functions here, like app, okay, then database, like this. Okay. Then you have the list here. So just now we will go. You see the list. Okay. Name without quotations here. So here you are using the quotations here. So you have unquoted words here. Okay. So here you are defining strings here. So here you are defining unquoted words. Without unquoted words, you are defining the application here. Okay. So these are the unquoted words. Okay. So then you are using any numbering also. You are not using any numbering structure also. if you are using any boolean structure here, okay, so here you are defining true, false, okay, yes or no, okay. In AML you will tell bool, that's it, boolean, okay. So here you will be using in none, okay, in Python. So here in AML also you will be using none. Okay. So in JSON you will be using null here, you will be using none here, AML also using none here. So these are all the configuration files data. Okay. So if you are putting this .aml file, okay, so you are just loading the configuration, that's it. You just think about that. So once you start working on these configuration files, then you will understand, okay, so what we are trying to access it here. So now you are accessing the data here. So accessing data, app name, what is the app name? So you are loading the configuration file. Same like that, there is no difference, okay. So all the inverted commas went out, unquoted, these are unquoted here. So you have taken out the braces here, okay, brackets. So now you are defining it like this, okay. Now you are loading the same here. So you are not changing anything here. Okay, instead of the app name, you have just changed the string here. Okay, app. Okay. So now the same output is same here, my app and localhost. So you are just changing the pattern here, dictionary pattern for JSON and YAML file. So now you will ask, okay, what is the best here, YAML or JSON? So in interviews, they will ask, okay, which one will you comfortable, which one you will use, okay. It depends on the environment. I will use either of it, okay. JSON is standard format, okay. So YAML is your superset, okay. So YAML configuration is a superset of JSON. Okay, if there is a valid JSON configuration, it is mostly valid for YAML also. Okay, but here YAML will add comments. Okay, and it will allow multiple strings also. That is where it will have a added advantage. That's it between the YAML and JSON format. Okay. So that's it for today. Okay. So tomorrow we will have a war room session. Okay. So let me pass the recording.